This is episode number 32 on redefining growth, adaptation, learning, and beyond. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to the Chronically Empowered Mom Podcast, your source for energy and inspiration. I'm Vickie Siculiano, motivational coach, certified personal trainer, former jazz vocalist, and a multiple-time Amazon published author. My mission is to empower you to be the best version of you, no matter what stage of life or if you have a chronic illness like me. Ready to rewrite your story and be the best version of you? Let's dive in. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Chronically Empowered Mom Podcast. I am really excited to be here with you today, and I'll tell you why. Because this is the first time that I have actually recorded in my vehicle. So it's a little chilly now, but I'm sitting here in my Ford Edge, and I've got my Bluetooth wireless microphone on. And I bought this a few months ago, and I never actually had it in action because I couldn't get it to plug into my phone correctly. So there's a receiver, right, when you have a microphone. And the receiver couldn't plug into the phone because I have this thick OtterBox because my MS hands are always dropping stuff. I have dropsy. So, it's something that I wanted to do, but it's not something that ever came to be. But since I've really been trying to test my limits and see what I've got, I brought my wireless microphone with me here to the gym. It is now 6:30. I had every intention of recording this podcast at 4 a.m. on Friday, which I'm supposed to post up on Buzzsprout so that my podcast can get distributed all over the world. And I didn't meet my 4 a.m. deadline. But you know something? Sometimes in life we have deadlines. Sometimes those deadlines are self-imposed, and sometimes they are from a higher order, right? Your boss, somebody else gave you a deadline. Well, nobody gave me a deadline of 4 a.m. on a Friday morning but myself. So I have no one to really apologize to. I'm not sorry that I was doing other stuff because I'm pretty amazed at all the stuff I do. So with that said, I wanted to go over a couple of things that I'm going to be sharing in this podcast with you. Excuse me. So the podcast, I haven't come up with a title yet, but by the time this podcast goes live, it will have a title. And pretty much it's about embracing change and kind of overcoming excuses, never really making an excuse for something that just you want to try out and do. I think there's no shortage of things that I want to tackle in life, and I'm certainly not done yet, MS or not. So I'm going to go over the topics that I'm going to go over today. Okay, so I'm going to just talk about me podcasting in this car and what that's about. In case you're interested in some technical stuff, like I am, I think that we live in an age of technology. So it's there to help us. And, I think that I want to share that with you so that you can become better. Maybe think about how technology can live with you and you don't fight it. And it can make you a better person. So the second thing I want to talk about is adaptation, and really how important it is for you to adapt and overcome. I guess like the Marine saying, right? You can either set your intention, figure out how to do something. I'm going to talk about that, okay? And then my next topic is going to be going over reprogramming your mindset. Sometimes we sabotage ourselves and give ourselves the reason to make an excuse. There is no reason for any excuse. Just go. Okay, that's my saying. So I also want to talk about flexibility and being flexible in your plans and goals. And that just allowed me to sit here and podcast today and record this because I had to be flexible. I couldn't really be home and record during the day. Sometimes it's not easy for me. I'm going to talk about that more in the third topic. And then I actually was originally going to make this podcast cover the topic of consistency and routine, because that is really what has changed me as a person, changed my mindset, and it gave me a plan with how to really approach my life, being consistent, okay? And it didn't happen overnight. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And then we'll just talk about learning and growth and, some plans for the future and some tips, on being organized and how you can get your own routine. And then we'll close with a quote and then just recap. Okay, so I am totally in charge, man. I have my outline sitting here on my phone in my notes app. Okay, that comes with my iPhone. And last night I just talked it out because I really try to do a lot of things by voice. I don't type that fast. I'm not a texter. I love watching young kids today tap on their phone like pros. I don't know how they do it. I think that we probably will evolve with smaller fingers, like little sticks or something. At least that can be iPhone sensitive. All right, so that you can touch the screen and it can know what you want. I don't know. My fingers are a little big and they're a little clumsy, so I like to talk everything out, which is I think why I started podcasting again, because it's like me having a conversation here. I love talking to people. I love connecting. And so I'm really excited to do this podcast because this for me is like therapy. It's like journaling, right? When you journal, you do it by hand. Well, this is kind of like journaling by voice. Now, I also have a blog. Okay, if you go to Chronically Empowered Mom, you will see this podcast posts. This is episode number 32, I believe. If it's 31 or 30, I think it's 32. But we'll see when we go live. I'm going to make sure that it's right. So now I completely forgot what I was talking about. It's just a great way for me to journal. That's what I was talking about. So I get a chance to have my blog. I can have my podcast up on my website. At first I started on WordPress. That's a free platform, but you have to go and see a lot of ads for that. And I didn't want people that were going to be part of my community see that. So I have a website now, and now I'm going to be taking the time to fix it up a little bit. I'm pretty happy with the way it looks, but it can always be better. Just like me as a person, right? That's why I go to the gym, because I want to be better than who I am today. I want to be better tomorrow. So all the time, my next song is my best one. Even when I was a jazz vocalist, right? My next song was always my best one. That's what I always believe. And even going through life now in a body with a chronic illness, tomorrow is my best day. So I'm going to do everything I can to plan it and make it happen. So the first podcast in my car, that's a pretty exciting deal to me. So when it goes live later, I'll be pretty happy about that. Okay. And I'll probably make a little short video on YouTube. I've been doing that as well lately. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of shorts that I've been doing, like right outside the gym when my brain is fully revved up, because I've got all of this energy going from such a great workout at the gym and being connected with people that I see. And I pretty much know most of the people there that come with me. I've been at 4:30 a.m. now because a little half hour earlier never killed anybody, especially to beat a crowd with people coming in from a gym that's being renovated that's been closed. So it's going to open up in December, and we'll see if I come early still, even if it is open, because they are going to close my gym. So I've got a little planning to do, okay? And that comes to my next topic, adapting to new situations, okay? So I'm going to do it in terms of fitness because this is my world right now, okay? There's a lot of pieces I shouldn't say that actually. Come on, Vic. You're so much more than fitness. So I have the fitness aspect of my life that I'm going to use as an example, being adaptable. But then I'm going to use another example for another side of my life, which involves making Amazon coloring books and journals. Okay, one of those, a gratitude journal that helps me every morning. So the importance of adapting. You've got to adapt. If you think that you can go through life just as you are, in the body you're in, the mindset that you're in, you are sadly mistaken. So there's always a way to make yourself more adaptable to a situation. If you think that it's the end, that everybody is coming into your gym, right? Because you've got this gym that closed nearby, and that's a central location. My gym is a central location to towns around. It's the biggest. It's got newer equipment, and it's just got great people. Real supportive, and I think that makes you as a person too. So I come earlier now. I come at 4:30 instead of 5 in the morning. And look, I didn't always want to work out at this time in the morning. I don't have a job that I have to be at. When most of the people are coming in early, they're either getting in a car, getting on a public transportation vehicle like a bus or a train, and they're going to their job. Okay? I understand that, and I completely respect that. That is not why I'm there. So right after this, I will go home. I will get myself ready on today. Today, I will go to PT, physical therapy, to take care of my shoulder injury. That's another story. Nothing to do with MS, so it's kind of nice to treat something that doesn't have to do with an MS problem. Okay, so I'm going to go home, and then I'm going to get myself ready, make sure that my son is ready for school, because he's got to leave at, a little before 9, so we can get him over to school. But I'm so thankful that my mom is home and lives with us. She lives on the first floor, and she is so integral in helping me raise my son and take care of him. And I'm like Mama Wheels, right? Like I can drive everywhere, but Mom really helps me get him in and helps me. So it takes a village, right? So I wanted to talk about adapting a little bit more. Okay, so I came out with this gratitude journal. I'm going to take a sip of my protein shake. Excuse me, because I did work out. And you want to have protein in your body half hour, no later, half hour after you work out to replenish your body. Because you just tore up those muscles and they need that protein to resynthesize, right? Okay, protein shake in mouth, down. Okay, so one thing that I want to share with you, okay, is this gratitude journal. I think you probably heard about it before. I wanted to have a gratitude journal for myself that I could write in every day. 3 things to be grateful for every morning. I wanted to write down, and then an affirmation to start my day. I pound myself with affirmations with my Insight Timer app in the morning, because I want to make sure that even though I'm doing other things, it's getting in my head. My affirmations: I am strong, I am beautiful, I am committed, I'm going to do this, I am totally worth it, and I am deserving, right? And I am enough. So even though I'm always trying to achieve things, I know that I am more than enough, and sometimes too much for people to handle. I can't believe how much energy I have right now. I'm supercharged for my workout. Maybe this is a good time to record. Anyway, found that out just now. So adapting, right? I came out with this gratitude journal. I wanted one for myself, but I knew that I could have Amazon do print on demand. Doesn't cost me a dime for inventory, and I can create this image using Canva. It's what I had at the time. Canva is like a graphic design service that you use yourself. You design your own things. You can create your own stuff. But, I didn't really have design experience, and Canva always got me so confused and I didn't really know where to do things. If I needed to go to make a small image for social media, I didn't really know. But you can learn, okay? I just didn't have the need to really sit down and learn for social media graphics. It wasn't my thing. So I wanted to read up on the reviews for other gratitude journals to see what people wanted in them, to see what was most important to them. And one thing that I found that was so shocking to me, it kind of screamed at me, was that quite a few reviews said that they wished there were coloring pages in the gratitude journals. And these were across different gratitude journals. This wasn't just one review that I read for one book. It was definitely out there. So it was visible to me that there was a need. Even though I wasn't big into coloring. I mean, I had colored when I was a kid. I loved to color. I even won a coloring contest and won a bike. Okay, that's how much I practiced coloring over and over, and then I submitted the best one that I thought had like gold sparkles in it and the glitter pens, and Yeah. So I was into coloring when I was young, but never really as an adult. And, I just wanted to see what I could do about making coloring pages. Then I learned when I was on Canva that you really can't use the images for commercial use. And even though I'm not making a ton of money on this, there's a little profit for my time and energy, right? In putting this out there. This is not breaking the bank, but it's something to give me back for what I gave to the world. Okay, so I wanted to learn how to make my own images. I didn't know how because I really am not a graphic artist. I couldn't use Canva, and I kept looking on YouTube. Now I'm doing this because I want you to see how you have to adapt, right? There's some element of learning. You can't make excuses or I'm not an artist, right? I can't do that because I don't know how. Well, then you effing learn how to. Okay, that's the thing with me. I'm not big on people making excuses. You can't do something, you don't have the time, find the time. You don't know how, you learn how. Okay, there's no reason everybody has the ability to. If you don't have the technology tools, you don't have Wi-Fi, go to the library, find someone else who does, whatever. So anyway, I wanted to learn more and more. So I started to learn how to use Canva to make coloring books better and better. And then I found a course, Imagine. It was amazing. It's a course on how to make coloring books. Okay, so I thought this was going to teach me really how to make those images that are like amazing. What I saw adult coloring books were like going crazy online. I had no idea. I was just looking how to make a coloring book. I didn't know I was going to find this course. And this course really taught me what I needed to know to get started using Midjourney. Now, Midjourney is an artificial intelligence platform that is a bot, right? It's not its own program self-running. It runs through Discord, which is like a communication platform, Discord. And it's an app. So I can do this on my phone, on my iPad, wherever I am. I am big on being mobile because I never know how I'm going to be feeling, where I'm going to be, what time of day. I'm just like, I want to be everywhere, right? All the time. So with Midjourney, I started to learn how to prompt, and that's how you create images. Okay, I wasn't an artist. I wasn't going to art school. I felt that was going to take a long time. And a lot of people were making these coloring books and churning them out like that, right? They were doing it quick. And I wanted to do it too because I didn't have time. I wanted to beat the Christmas rush also. I wanted to figure out how to make these images for my gratitude journal. So I started learning and I put different topics. Now I had a gratitude coloring book, inspirational blooms with inspirational sayings. And I'll put all these links up on my website for you and the description because I wanted to really learn how to do this, but kind of go with that theme. Then my son's teacher has a real crush on sloths. She loves sloths. So I thought it would be cool because my son was helping me make these coloring books, and that's pretty awesome, right? He loves technology. He can sit still long enough to learn how to prompt and learn how to use the graphic design tools to make the books right after you create the images, how to clean them up and stuff and make them colorable. And we've had a great time. He made a bugs book. I'll put that link up too. It was an A to Z insect book. And that was the first time I had a foray into making coloring books. And let me tell you, that was not an adult coloring book. That by far was the most difficult book that I had to work with. So I didn't have the skills yet on how to make the coloring book images. Then I also didn't have the skills on how to make the books yet. I was using a different tool to do it. It was difficult, okay? And it was easy. It wasn't impossible, but it wasn't impossible, but I made it happen. And my son was very happy with it, and I had his help. So, now I'm at the point where I've made, let's see, I just did 2 coloring books, sloths. One is a snarky sloth with sarcastic sayings, because I looked up, there's so many adult coloring books that have sarcastic sayings, and there's ones that have really vulgar sayings, foul language, and I'm not for that for myself. So I said, what else can I do? So I learned how to make snarky sayings, okay, kind of sarcastic, for slow life sloth, like, don't mind me, I'm just, a slow guy. What you gonna do? I don't live a fast life. Did you say rush? What's that? Like, so a snarky sloth saying. And then there was one with sloths traveling the world, and I prompted for different locations: Venice, a sloth on a gondola, sloth hanging on the Great Wall of China. It was really fun. So I got to use my creativity, and it was pretty awesome. So I had a chance to develop my skills in making books and doing these prompts and learning how to create artificial intelligence images that I created. Okay, I'm not an artist, but I can prompt by pulling on different styles, bold outlines, pop art, mola, Mexican influence, all of these different kinds of influences I can pull in. Artists that are not alive anymore, like I can pull in Salvador Dali or Keith Haring. He's still alive, but his influence really teaches me what I like, so I don't necessarily have to use his name, but I kind of know where to go with what it is. If I do thick lines and abstract images and stuff, so that's really important to me. So I've learned art more through doing this, and what looks good to my eye and what speaks to me. So I think this has to do with adaptation, because you don't necessarily have to be an artist, but with artificial intelligence, now I can be one, and I can create. Okay, I can create the books. If I didn't have the art and I had to outsource and go to get artists, yes, I can definitely do that, and I completely understand the value, because believe me, artificial intelligence is not a person. It does wonky things. It adds limbs. It will add fingers. And on 3-toed sloths, that's a little different. You've got sometimes you got to regenerate an image and hope that it comes up with the right amount of fingers, or you have to adjust it by cleaning up some of the toes or whatever. So a person is a person. Remember, artificial intelligence has its own role. But if it's good enough and quick for me now and is going to get the job done, I'm going to do it. So that's my adaptation. And, reprogramming is my next topic. It's really reprogramming your mindset, that you can totally do something. You don't have to think about just not having something that you're capable of doing. But if you put in your mindset, you can do anything. Anything is possible. I think that's the most important thing. Okay. In the morning, I walk in with my crutches. They know I'm coming. It is not impossible for me to come in and get myself in shape. When I came at the gym and I started a couple of years ago, I was not in shape at all. I was pretty soft, and I would sit a lot. And when I go home from here, I have to make the intention to not sit as much. So that's one thing that's important to me, is reprogramming my mind, because it starts there. You got to be flexible, is my next topic. With your goals. You have goals in your mind, and you want to set it so that you can reach and become better. So for myself, I wanted a gratitude journal, right? I didn't know when it was going to be done by, but I had a goal and an intention of setting it for Thanksgiving, okay? Because I thought gratitude and Thanksgiving, right, would go together. So it actually was much quicker than I thought. So that it was good, because I have a lot more time to learn how to finish my Christmas coloring book. It's coming up. The images are there, but they're going to be so much better now that I have so much more ability to prompt better. Like, I way improved my prompting skills, so these pictures are going to be so much better. I used to try to have fine detail in my images. I thought it was good to have nice spaces to color in for people. They seem to like that. Johanna Basford, I even ordered her book. She has these amazing, she has a top selling adult coloring book on Amazon, right? So she has all of these books that she really hand draws by line. And I completely am impressed. She is a true artist, and that I can't create stuff that she does. But I can look to create something in the style of it, but it, AI doesn't know everything. So it kind of fills in with gray. And then when you go to clean up the image and make it a vector graphic, don't worry about me getting technical with you people. It doesn't matter. But you have to clean up your images, right, before you put them in a coloring book. So they look kind of mushy, and I just kind of held them to the side. I'm like, I'm going to figure that out. Now I have more tools that book's going to be amazing. But I'm not looking to compete with Johanna Basford. I was just looking to get better at my skills, okay? And it's really not an expensive book. It's just, it's something I wanted to do. So, wow. I have to tell you, folks, I'm going to try this. I'm sitting here recording this on my phone, okay? I am watching the sun come up over the horizon, and that's pretty amazing. Wow. I actually see the sun coming up over the horizon. That is the first time, because I came there. I don't know if you heard that click, but I just clicked with my phone. That is so cool. So, I came up the hill. I went down and came from a higher vantage point so I could specifically see this. And I am seeing it right now. And I parked where there's some brush right in front of me. So it looks so amazing. I am such a sucker for a sunrise. I'm completely sorry that I got all distracted for a second. But again, I'm recording this from my car, folks. I didn't know what to expect. I wanted to try it, and I appreciate you being here with me. So anyway, we were talking about consistency, or we were talking about, the flexibility, right? So I had this coloring book for Christmas, and I was using the style of Johanna Basford, and it just wasn't what I wanted. So I just held off on it. And now Christmas is coming. I'm going to finish that book by next week. Okay. I'm going to give myself a deadline of right before, Black Friday. And I'm going to put all of my books on sale at about what it costs me to print. So I can't do it for free, because then I will be paying for everybody to have my books, but I can offer them at just what it is at cost. Okay, so I'm going to be putting them up, and I'm going to put this Christmas book up then too. Okay, ooh, that sun is getting bright. That's for sure. Wowee. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, guys. Look, thanks for sticking with me. I really have to do this. That's amazing. I never had a full sunrise in my face. I'm dying here. Anyway, so the book, I want that to come out next week, and that's my plan for the future. Okay. It's a realistic goal to have it done next week, because now I've actually done coloring books and I know how long they take to produce, how to do it. I actually have templates from previous stuff that I've done. So all I have to do is just grab that book, add coloring pages, and upload a new edition. I also have to translate it into Spanish, though, because I did translate my first gratitude journal into Spanish. So I will do that as well. But it's pretty cool. I have done things. I have been creative and been using my skills and not just sitting down and feeling sorry for myself. I always learn, just there's so much that you can learn, even if it's learning how to do something better using technology like this. Like, I'm using my wireless microphone to do this, my Bluetooth wireless microphone. I've had it in a box for a long time. So this is a lot of firsts today. This is the first time I'm using this microphone. The first time I'm looking at the actual sun coming up over the horizon, like a little piece, like a little half circle. Amazing. I never saw that from the gym. And then, so I've got my car. It's the first time I'm sitting in a car. I'm going to be honest with you. It's cold in here. I'm watching the steam come off of my breath, like when I'm talking, and moving my hands like, wow, there's another guy sitting in his car next to me. I doubt he's recording a podcast, but it's pretty chilly in here. I'm having a lively old conversation by myself. Hey, I could be talking on the phone to someone. I'm not really talking to myself, am I? I am talking to you, even though I can't see you. Hi, thank you for listening. So the next topic that I wanted to just touch on is technical challenges. So when you have a challenge that you can't overcome because you don't know how to do something, you do it because you find a way to do it, right? The same thing with technology. So if something doesn't work, find a way to get it to work. So if I recorded this podcast just on my iPhone, it would have sounded like horse poop, okay, for lack of a better term. I think you know which one. So it would have sounded like garbage. And I think garbage in, garbage out. That's what I truly believe. So I feel that if I can buy a wireless microphone to get my audio to sound better, that's going to mean that you're going to listen more, okay? So that, to me, is everything. And, the only problem is this challenge of getting this to be a transcript. Well, I was paying more monthly for Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout.com is the tool that I use to publish and distribute my podcasts all around the world to all platforms. And it has AI, and I was using it to transcribe. So I would upload my audio and then I would transcribe. But it is costly, and I really didn't like their AI. I was always cleaning it up, and it was just kind of chunky and clunky. So I was doing it myself, and I wanted to have another way to do it for free. There's another way to do it on Google. It's too complicated for me. I just use Google Drive, and there's this open source way, but I'm not going to do it. There is a way for me to put this up on YouTube, right? I just upload before I upload, I just make a video using a thumbnail that I create and just upload the audio, and then I can put it up on YouTube because it has to have the visual, right? That's why I need that thumbnail. And then I have it up on YouTube, and they will transcribe for me for free. But it's a little busy because I have to make this video first to upload it. It's not just uploading audio. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure out the way to get the transcription done, because I want a good transcription so that I can get the text and the words up on my website, right? Not everybody can hear. So we want to make sure that the words are there. And if you want to read me instead of hear me, then you have that choice. So one thing that I want to say is I had no idea that I was going to go on so long, and I had all these topics that I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm going to have to split this for another day because I'm going to have to run for my PT, okay? I'm going to have to go home, then I have to go to PT, and I just want to leave you with a quote today, okay? Do what you can with what you got where you are. That is a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. I'm going to repeat that. Do what you can with what you've got where you are. And with that said, I'm going to leave you until my next episode. And it's probably going to be in my car too. I'm going to be probably freezing my chi-chis off, but we're going to do it. Okay. Thank you for listening today, and I hope you have an awesome one. You take care. Thanks for tuning in. You were just listening to the Chronically Empowered Mom Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share with someone else and leave a review. For more resources, please check out the show notes. And don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at chronicallyempoweredmom.com. See you next time.